Welcome to Manna at the Tap, a podcast from Tapestry Ministries. Each episode reflects on a daily Bible reading from the Revised Common Lectionary. I'm Laura, a member of the Tapestry community and a fellow traveler on a spiritual journey with the community. We refer to the daily Bible reading as our spiritual manna. It nourishes our souls, fostering spiritual growth as we share insights and interpretations that enrich our spiritual lives. Today is Thursday, November 27th, 2025, marking the 24th and final week of the liturgical year 2024-25. This has been a period of spiritual growth for the Tapestry community. The lectionary reading is from the Old Testament book of Daniel. Let me introduce Daniel, the person after whom the book is named. Daniel was a teenager living in the kingdom of Judah when the king of Babylon invaded the country, taking a group of promising young men whom he believed would be valuable in the Babylonian royal service. The book of Daniel recounts the story of Daniel and 3 other young men who were taken captive. Once they arrived, the leadership in Babylon changed the young men's names, giving them Babylonian names to help them feel at home in their new environment. But Daniel refused to accept his Babylonian name. After a period of training, Daniel was promoted to the royal court, holding senior positions including ruler of the province of Babylon and chief of all wise men. Although Daniel never returned to Judah, he kept a close eye on what was going on there. The lectionary reading is Daniel chapter 9, verses 15 to 19. Daniel has now been in Babylon for 65 years, serving under several of the kings who have come and gone. He knew from the Hebrew scriptures that God had promised to bring his people back home by the 70th year, and that time was approaching quickly. Let's listen in on Daniel's prayer to God about the situation. First, Daniel prepared himself by fasting and wearing sackcloth and ashes, symbols of his humility. The opening words of his prayer were to remind God that he had saved his people by his power from the Egyptians many centuries ago. And his people still talked about it after all this time. He praised and glorified God for his goodness, then confessed the sins of the people, including his own, and asked that God have mercy on those who had rebelled against him. He prayed that God would cause his face to shine on the people because they desperately needed it, and that God should not delay. Daniel's desperate prayer was answered instantly, even before he finished praying.